I believed our love was real, etched in every tender promise and every quiet I love you we exchanged. I envisioned a future of shared laughter, sunlit mornings, and dreams woven together like a cherished tapestry. Then, one ordinary afternoon, while scrolling through our messages on his tablet, I stumbled upon a hidden conversation that shattered everything I held dear. The words on the screen, intimate and bold, revealed that his virtual world had a secret, a digital affair with another woman. In that shocking instant, my heart froze and the future I believed in turned to ash. I knew without a doubt that nothing would ever be the same. I still recall the early days of our relationship with a bittersweet clarity. We met in a crowded cafe on a rainy afternoon, the gentle patter of raindrops matching the cadence of our conversation. His smile was sincere, his eyes full of promises of a future together that I clung to like a lifeline. We spent long evenings discussing our hopes and dreams, creating plans that felt as solid as the old brick walls of the cafe where we first talked. Every moment with him felt like a secret that only we shared, a private promise of devotion that made the world seem a more hopeful place. I trusted him completely, believing that the love we nurtured was unbreakable, immune to the temptations of the outside world. As our relationship deepened, we began building a life together, small routines that, to me, were the foundation of a lasting future. We moved into a modest apartment, decorated with little touches that reminded us of our shared dreams. The photo of our first date, the handwritten notes left on our nightstand, even the playlist of songs that became the soundtrack to our love story. I treasured every I love you and every promise he made about our future, convinced that nothing could ever alter the truth of our devotion. His assurances were like the steady beat of a drum, reliable, comforting, and the anchor of my happiness. But as time passed, subtle changes began to surface. I started noticing that he would disappear for long periods during the day, always with vague explanations about work that left me with a small but nagging doubt. His phone, once a shared object on our kitchen counter, increasingly became something he guarded fiercely. At dinner, when I'd ask about his day, his answers were curt, and sometimes I caught a fleeting glance of guilt in his eyes. I brushed these moments off as quirks of a busy man, perhaps nothing more than temporary lapses in a hectic schedule. I wanted to believe in our love so desperately that I ignored the first seeds of suspicion. Yet even as I planned our future, booking a little getaway for our upcoming anniversary, arranging a surprise dinner for us, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. One quiet afternoon, while I was organizing the digital photos on our shared tablet, I stumbled upon a folder labeled Private. Curiosity mingled with apprehension as I tapped on it. Inside was a series of chat conversations, hidden away as if they were meant to be secrets never spoken aloud. My hands began to tremble as I scrolled through the messages, playful banter, emoticons that spoke of intimacy, and details of late-night meetups with a woman whose name I had never heard him mention. The messages were unmistakable, a virtual affair, a hidden connection that existed parallel to our life together. Every goodnight message and every flirtatious emoji ripped through my heart like shards of broken glass. I sat there, frozen in disbelief, as the digital confessions painted a picture of a love that wasn't mine, a secret romance that had blossomed behind the screen while I believed our love was real. That night, sleep eluded me as I lay in bed, the cool darkness of our room punctuated by the harsh glow of my phone's screen and the relentless echo of betrayal. My mind raced with questions. How long had this been going on? Who was this mysterious woman who had become his secret confidant, his virtual lover? Every tender word he had ever whispered now felt like a lie that had built an illusion of forever that was nothing more than a facade. I recalled the nights when he would say, "I love you," with such conviction, and the memories of our plans for the future now felt like brittle promises, easily shattered by the cold reality of his hidden affair. In the following days, a heavy melancholy settled over me. I moved through our shared home like a ghost, each room a reminder of a love I thought was real. The gentle murmur of the refrigerator, the sound of rain tapping on the window, even the creak of the floorboards, all of it echoed with the quiet agony of betrayal. I found myself rewatching old videos of us laughing, of us sharing moments that once filled me with warmth, now all tainted by the painful discovery. I questioned whether I had been naive, too willing to trust a man whose heart was split between a real world we shared and a secret digital world that he guarded fiercely. Determined to understand the full scope of his deceit, I began a quiet investigation. Late at night, when the world outside was silent and my mind was a storm of questions, I carefully copied every incriminating message from the hidden folder. I created a digital dossier titled Truth, where I saved screenshots of every conversation, every timestamp that revealed a secret rendezvous, and every emoticon that now seemed to mock the promises of our love. Each piece of evidence was a stark reminder of a life he had built without me, a life that was as real as it was hidden. I cross-referenced the dates of these messages with the nights he had claimed to be working late, and the pattern was undeniable. The truth, though painful, was irrefutable. As I gathered more evidence, a wave of anger and sorrow surged within me. I felt betrayed, not only by his actions but by the very essence of our relationship. How could the man who once promised me a lifetime of devotion now spend his nights engaged in a virtual affair? My heart ached with the realization that every moment we had shared, every plan we had dreamed up, was built on lies. I felt as if my entire world had been upended, my trust shattered like a fragile vase dropped on hard concrete. Yet even in that dark moment, I began to sense a stirring of determination, a resolve to reclaim my identity and rebuild my life on the foundation of truth. I turned to my closest friend, a beacon of compassion and strength, and poured out the painful details over long, tearful conversations in a cozy, quiet cafe. "You deserve honesty," she said gently, her voice a soothing balm to my wounded soul. "You deserve a love that is whole, not one that exists in two separate worlds." Her words, simple yet powerful, ignited a spark of resolve within me. I knew then that I couldn't allow his betrayal to define my future. I deserved to live a life where trust was unblemished, where my heart was cherished and not divided. With her encouragement, I made the difficult decision to confront him. I spent days rehearsing what I would say, standing in front of the mirror until my voice, though trembling with raw emotion, grew steady with determination. "I trusted every word you said," I practiced, believing that our love was unbreakable. "Now I see that it was built on secrets and lies." Every time I repeated those words, I felt a little more of the weight of betrayal lift, replaced by the fierce resolve to reclaim my life and my dignity. The day of the confrontation arrived on a chilly, overcast afternoon. Our home, which had once been a sanctuary of shared dreams and gentle laughter, now felt heavy with unspoken sorrow and tension. I sat in the living room, the folder of evidence clutched tightly in my hands, waiting for him to return from one of his late-night work sessions. Every minute ticked by like a slow, agonizing eternity, each second filled with the sound of my own pounding heart. Finally, when he walked through the door, his face appeared calm and collected, a mask of normalcy that belied the storm raging inside me. I rose to meet him, my eyes locking onto his with a mixture of sorrow and unwavering determination. "We need to talk," I said softly but firmly, and in that moment, I knew that there was no turning back. He hesitated for a split second, his eyes flickering toward the folder on the coffee table. I took that moment to step forward and lay out the evidence, one piece at a time. I opened the folder and began to speak, my voice steady despite the tears that threatened to fall. "I trusted you when you promised me that our love was real, that every I love you was a vow meant for us and us alone. But these messages, these hidden conversations, they reveal a truth I can no longer ignore. How could you build a virtual affair with someone else while making me believe that our future was unbreakable?" His face turned ashen, and for a long, painful moment, the silence between us was filled only with the sound of my trembling voice and the undeniable evidence of his betrayal. He tried to offer explanations, vague statements about stress, about late nights at work, but every word crumbled under the weight of the truth. I saw the guilt in his eyes, the regret that he had spent so long living a double life. Every tender promise we had shared now seemed like a lie, a fragile illusion shattered by the harsh reality of his hidden affair. I felt a profound sadness, a deep aching sorrow for the love we once believed in, now marred by deception. "I deserve the truth," I said, my voice breaking with the pain of every shattered promise. "I deserve to know that our love is built on honesty, not secrets. How could you do this to us?" The confrontation was a collision of raw emotion and undeniable truth, a moment when the future we had once dreamed of crumbled into fragments of what might have been. I felt every "I love you" we had exchanged twist into a reminder of my shattered trust. After that day, everything changed. The warmth that had once filled our home was replaced by a cold emptiness, every corner echoing with the betrayal that now defined our lives. I spent days wandering through our quiet rooms, questioning every shared moment, every tender memory, and each one now felt like a painful reminder of what I had lost. The aftermath was a blur of heartbreak and a burgeoning resolve to reclaim my life. I isolated myself in our once happy home, the silence broken only by my quiet sobs and the relentless ticking of the clock. I replayed the evidence over and over in my mind, the hidden conversation, the intimate messages that revealed his virtual affair. With every reread, my heart ached deeper, but I also began to understand that I had the strength to rise from this devastation. I reached out to a trusted therapist who helped me navigate the turbulent sea of emotions, tears, anger, disbelief, and slowly I began to piece together the fragments of my shattered trust. I filled pages of my journal with raw, unfiltered emotion, each entry a testament to the slow, painful process of healing. I discovered that while the scars of betrayal might never fully disappear, they could become symbols of my inner strength, a reminder that I was capable of rebuilding my life on my own terms. I reconnected with old friends who rallied around me, offering comforting words and unwavering support that reminded me that my worth was not defined by his lies. Their empathy became a steady beacon, guiding me through the darkest nights and towards a future where honesty and mutual respect would be the cornerstones of every relationship I would ever build. Eventually, I made the agonizing decision to end our relationship. The woman I thought I loved, the man I had trusted with my heart, had built a virtual affair that shattered every promise of forever. I consulted with an attorney, and the legal process, though grueling, affirmed my right to a future free from deception. Every court session, every document I signed, was a step toward reclaiming my dignity and my destiny. I packed my belongings with a heavy heart, each item a bittersweet relic of the dreams we once nurtured. With a resolve forged in heartbreak, I left our shared home, a space that had once resonated with laughter and love, and moved into a modest apartment in a quiet neighborhood, determined to rebuild my life from the ruins of broken promises. In my new home, I slowly began to rediscover who I was before the betrayal. I decorated my space with bright colors and personal mementos that celebrated my resilience, a gallery of photographs that captured my triumphs, trinkets that reminded me of my strength, and books that inspired hope. I immersed myself in new hobbies, taking long walks in the park, exploring creative pursuits, and reconnecting with passions I had long forgotten. Every sunrise became a symbol of renewal, a reminder that each day offered a fresh start and a chance to rewrite my story. I learned that true healing comes from within, that every tear shed and every sleepless night had a purpose, to lead me toward a future defined not by betrayal, but by the unyielding promise of self-respect and authenticity. Publicly, the tale of our unraveling love became a quiet undercurrent among our circle of friends and family. Whispers of sympathy, gentle words of encouragement, and supportive glances met me wherever I went. I began to share my journey on a personal blog, writing candidly about the heartbreak, the discovery of the hidden conversation, and the painful process of reclaiming my life. The responses were overwhelming. Messages from strangers who had faced similar betrayals, kind words from old friends who reminded me that I was not alone, and a sense of solidarity that bolstered my spirit. Each note of encouragement was a reminder that while the scars of betrayal might never fully fade, they could also be transformed into symbols of strength, resilience, and the unbreakable human spirit. As the months turned into a year, I gradually learned to trust again, first in myself, then cautiously in others. I ventured back into the world of relationships, each new encounter approached with a blend of guarded optimism and the hard-earned wisdom of my past. Every kind smile, every sincere conversation, slowly helped to mend the broken pieces of my heart, stitching together a new future where transparency and mutual respect were the pillars of every promise made. I discovered that true love is built on honesty, that every word must be backed by truth, and that I was worthy of a partnership that honored my trust as much as I cherished theirs. Now, as I sit in the soft, comforting glow of my modest apartment, a space that stands as a testament to my journey from heartbreak to healing, I reflect on the long, winding path that has led me here. The memory of that hidden conversation, the digital confession of his virtual affair, remains etched in my heart as a painful reminder of how fragile trust can be. Yet it is also a symbol of the strength I discovered within myself, a strength that allowed me to confront the truth, reclaim my dignity, and build a future defined by honesty and self-respect. Every sunrise is now a promise of new beginnings, a chance to rewrite my story and embrace a future where my destiny is mine to create. I now move forward with an unshakable conviction that I deserve nothing less than a love that is real, honest, and nurturing, a future where every promise is honored with integrity, and every shared dream is built on the solid foundation of truth. I stand today as a survivor, a woman whose heart, though scarred by betrayal, beats with the unwavering promise of hope and resilience. Every new day is a fresh canvas, a chance to rebuild my life, to transform the pain of the past into the strength of tomorrow, and to cherish the unyielding truth that I am worthy of a love that is genuine. This is my story, a journey of shattered illusions and heartbreaking betrayal, of raw, unfiltered pain and the slow, determined process of reclaiming my life from the ruins of deceit. I trusted every word he said, believed in the love we built together, and imagined a future filled with warmth and honesty. But when I discovered that hidden conversation revealing his virtual affair with another woman, everything I believed in crumbled like fragile glass. In that heart-wrenching moment, I found the strength to gather every piece of evidence, to confront the painful truth, and to reclaim my future from the ruins of broken promises. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of anguish has led me to this place. A place of quiet strength where I now stand unbroken, determined to live a life defined by truth, self-respect, and the unyielding belief that I am worthy of a love that is real. Every sunrise now is a reminder that every ending is the beginning of something new, a chance to rewrite my story, to rebuild my life on my own terms, and to embrace the promise of a future where my destiny is guided by the light of honesty and the strength of my own resilient heart. I am more than the sum of my scars. I am the architect of my own destiny, and with each new day, I choose to live a life filled with genuine love, unwavering truth, and the unbreakable promise that I will never again let betrayal define my worth.